Welcome to Coffee Talks with Tony and Dominique. This is a space for real conversations about marriage and parenting and the work it takes to grow stronger together while maintaining a Christ-centered home. Usually over a cup of coffee, we'll talk about leadership in the home, faith, communication, navigating life's challenges with honesty and intentionality. No perfection, just growth, accountability, and purpose. We're glad you're here. Let's grow stronger together. All right. Welcome to another episode of Dome and Tone Coffee Talks. Today we have our special guests, Frank and Michelle Termini. We are on location here in Fort Lauderdale at the Tiffany House. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use these cards that I got, and we're going to go into some conversation, but we're going to openly talk about other things too. First of all, we're going to talk about my wife just had to beat my child. And I got in trouble for it. That is, so if you guys know anything about perfect marriages, we are perfectly imperfect. So, all right. Why don't we start off with girls, introduce yourselves. Michelle, introduce yourself. Here, I'm going to put you over there. The camera is on you now. Pick up that deal.
Where do I pick it up?
Right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
This?
It can say right there. So
Oh,
you don't have to.
Okay,
It's fine.
Sure. All right,
Okay.
try it.
Hi, I'm Michelle Termini.
That's great, Michelle.
Dynamite drop it. Dynamite drop it.
What else you want to know?
So
I'm a mother of 5.
There we go. Yep. And
Yes. And married to Frank Termini.
yep.
And
For how many years?
14.
Okay.
14 years.
Dated for a few years before that.
Yeah, we've
How long
been
you guys been together?
Almost 19.
19 years.
19
okay.
years.
Learning your way around.
Learning our
Little
way
bit.
around. Pretty good.
It's been perfect the entire time.
Perfect.
Bliss.
Marital bliss.
Marital bliss. Right?
No, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better husband.
Our relationship was kind of flipped. Where like most people have, this fantastic start, right? And then it kind of gets stale.
Yeah.
Our hardest years were probably our first years, and then they just got better and better and better and better.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's mostly the hard part, was because I didn't know how to take anyone into consideration at all. I was by myself forever, so I had to learn how to take her into consideration.
But
Yeah.
I think you've done a tremendous job.
I think so too.
You're a great husband.
Thank you. You're a good wife.
Dominique, welcome back to another episode of Coffee Talks. I just want to tell you guys how thrilled is Dominique. The entire time that we've been down here, all she's asked is when we can do this.
Absolutely not.
In fact, if you could see the smoke, I'm gonna edit smoke coming out of her ears right now. So, let's start out with an icebreaker.
Okay, who starts?
Well, since Dominique was wearing us out the entire time about doing this, let's start with her. Actually, no, here, give me. Okay, you can read it. Speaking of the mic.
Okay, what's one big thing you want to change about yourself? I would say the biggest thing I want to change is how many hours I work a week and how many days I work a week. And now after my 3rd major surgery in 2 years, that is going to happen. So I'm not going to be in clinic so many days. So that's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm going to start enjoying my life more.
Okay, so that would be the real. Okay, so you're going to start enjoying your life more.
Yeah, have less stress in my life.
Frank, what about you? Is that one? What's hits you on that one?
Let me read it again.
Yeah.
One big thing you want to change about yourself. I'm pretty perfect.
I would lean more towards like perfect-ish.
If there was one thing that I could change about myself, it would be to be less volatile.
Ooh.
Right? And so and I was actually just talking to PJ Costello about this, because my dad was incredibly assertive, and being assertive is an art.
Mm-hmm. Hold your mic up.
So I was saying my dad was incredibly assertive, and being assertive is an art, and I have a tendency to, I'm cool, and then a demon comes out. And I skip the assertive. I go straight from calm to aggressive. And so I would like to be able to be more assertive. That's one thing I like to change about myself.
I like that. I oftentimes talk in my leadership training with my guys to try to teach them, because a lot of times in authoritative positions, you cross that boundary of being authoritative and being a dick. You know, being a butthead. I'm trying not to cuss, so I'm going to edit that out. So try. That's hard though, because you people automatically just assume authoritative is mean,
Right.
and it's not. It doesn't have to be, and it should, nor should it be. And that is an art. That's an art. Did you get your Jubilee bracelet?
No, I've had that. I need the Jubilee bracelet.
All right, Michelle, you're up.
Pick a card.
Yeah, there you go. We'll stick with the icebreakers.
What motivates you in life? I would
How
say.
about this? I'll guess the answer for you. You guess the answer for me.
Okay, what motivates me in life?
Money.
No,
All right.
No?
no.
Good.
You motivate me.
Oh, okay.
That's sweet.
You motivate me. You and my kids.
Okay.
You're a kid.
No, you and my kids motivate me.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I like that.
Money motivates me, but
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah, right. Like we talked about this the
Not
other
for me,
night.
though. Right. So I guess
It kind
by
of is.
default, no, but I guess by default, it's them, right?
Yeah.
That so you know, we really dive into it, because I don't want it for me. I guess let's say this. Provision motivates me.
That's good. I like that.
Provision.
Which is money.
Fucking A. It is. It's a nice way to say it, but it's not. It's not like it's because I want this or I want that or I don't care.
Right. Yeah, you're not a.
I'm not a
you
materialistic
finally just bought
guy.
yourself like a really nice vehicle for
Yeah.
the first time ever.
Right.
You've always
And
taken
said he
that.
would give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So right. I don't. It doesn't matter. My thing is provision, and here we talked about it. It's a lot of it you got to be careful, because pride's sneaky, and your desire to provide can be pride driven.
Because we talked about that.
It's a flex.
Yeah.
It's a flex.
It is.
You know, when your family's balling, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
right? And you don't want them to be spoiled by any means, and not have gratitude and appreciation. You don't want to, but you want them. How do I want to say it? You want them to be in a better position in their life and have more freedom than you did.
Yeah, it's funny that this is like dovetailing right into this, because I was actually just thinking about this. Like, how do we teach our kids? How do we give our kids a great life and not have to want for anything, right?
My dad did it. And we all knew how hard he worked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that he was up at the crack of dawn and came home late, and and we knew that he also
Did he
denied-
spoil you guys like we spoil our kids, though?
My dad's rule with us was get good grades and play sports. I'll take care of the rest. We didn't have brand new cars, but we had a car. If we needed gas, he gave us money for it. If we wanted to go out on a date with a girl, he gave us money for it.
Okay.
If I needed a suit for homecoming, he bought it.
Yeah.
Here, I remember I got a job one time and I came home, it was at Kmart, and I go, he never wanted me to get it, right? He wanted me, working out, training, and that type of stuff, school, that's what he wanted me to deal with. Then I went and got this job at Kmart, and I went home with it. This job sucks. He goes, quit. and I knew it wasn't good advice, but I did it anyway. I'm like, fuck it, I'm quitting.
But I would say my parents were the same way, though. As long as I got good grades, played sports, I got things that I wanted.
But he did make us have summer jobs.
Same here.
Yeah, he did make us have summer jobs, but like some kids, they were required to pay, half their car payment, half their insurance, pay for their gas, and they were working on Saturday and Sunday, and my dad was like, "No, I don't want you guys doing any of that."
We've got, we put on Yalen that new car last year. It's a lease, and the one car payment, one single car payment is what my first car cost entirely.
I think my car, I drove a 1986 sky blue Chevy Cavalier. I turned 16.
Real chick magnet.
I turned 16. That thing saw more ass. It did. I ain't kidding. So, where was I going? So let's see. I turned 16 in 1994. The car was an 86, so it was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to honk. You can hear me pulling up. If you got on the highway and was going 50, the whole damn car would shake.
So that's what I mean. I categorically, I still have an issue. I struggle with it, man. And this goes back to what we were talking about the other day.
That's not something I feel like I struggle with at all when it comes to the kids. Like, I got a brand new car when I turned 16. Yeah. But I also had a job when I was 15, and I've worked ever since. Like, I've never not had a job.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I have an issue. I have a problem with it because I worry that they don't know what doing without means. We are not in a position. We haven't been in a position to have to really show our kids to do without. And so I worry about that sometimes.
They also have limits, right? Like, they only get, Aniela's in charge of her gas. She has a car now, and she does have to pay for her gas. So she has to figure out, do we give them a certain amount each month? Yes, but when it runs dry, I don't replenish it. Mm-hmm. Either they wait, like Melania one time, all her money was gone, and she had still 2 weeks left of the month. And I said, sorry, figure it out. So she didn't get to do all the little things that she likes to do. So
we had to teach her how to reconcile her bank account against the DoorDash account.
Yeah, it's not like
she didn't understand they went together.
I mean, it's not like it's a free for all, right? Like, there
you have to budget.
Yeah, and there are limitations to things. And I think I've always said this since the kids were little, like, we're all like participating members of our family. Like, we will all have jobs. they will go to college. What we've created is yours and mine. This isn't theirs, right? They have to make their own life. And I've instilled that since they were little, and so it's not am I going to go to college? Am I going to have a job? Like, it is, I'm going to college. This is what I'm going to be doing with my life. It's not, like, moral of the story is they're not just going to graduate high school and live at our house and do nothing the rest of their lives.
I think the worst prison I've ever seen anybody in is someone who's lost gratitude.
Yes.
And so that is the key. You have to make sure that they maintain gratitude. Mm-hmm. If they lose that, that's when depression will seek in.
Because you can't ever find fulfillment.
That's the most horrific thing ever, in my opinion, is to lose gratitude. So I watch that with my kids, right?
So how do you do both? How do you give them everything and teach them gratitude? Because I almost feel like they have to know what it is to do without to appreciate to have, right? You got to have the rain hat and enjoy the sun.
Well,
not necessarily. It's their personalities.
At some point, what ends up happening is, your kids, they go to school, or maybe they go get a job, whatever that is, however they decide they want to make a living, right? Because college, I mean, how many kids go to school, go get a degree, spend God only knows how much money on a degree to go work at fucking Cerner for $40,000 a year?
I'm dead set against college, by the way.
I mean, I'm not dead set against it, but I wouldn't go to college unless you're going to go be a professional.
Yeah.
Whether it's a CPA, a nurse, a doctor, physical therapist,
lawyer.
But if you're going to go get a business degree, go hustle.
Yeah.
You'll make more money.
Yeah.
Just go hustle.
Right.
And so, where was I going with this?
Gratitude versus.
So what happens is there's a time where they're no longer under the protection of the quote unquote nest, right? And so now the car that you gave them, they may not be able to afford it anymore.
Right.
Right? You know, and so now they got to go get a car they can afford based on what their.
But then does depression set in?
Well, I mean, no, because
Yes.
here, what you have to instill,
Absolutely.
what you have to instill in them is having shit isn't what makes you happy.
Right.
Getting shit is what makes you happy. That's what
Your ability.
That's what I mean. Like here, you could give me. Well, at this point in my life, I wouldn't care because I've grinded for so much. You know what I mean? But you know, so once you've done that, if something falls into your lap, you're still going to appreciate it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had something really big fall in my lap in the last month and a half, right? I appreciate the shit out of it.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
you know what I'm
we're,
saying?
but we're in a different position.
Because right, but if that happened to me at 18 years old,
Probably not.
no.
Right. And that's what I worry about.
Right. I mean, I'd have blown every dime. Right. And so.
I think it's you leave dinner, and your kids thank you for it, like little things that you just see in their personalities.
Yeah.
Or we go, you took Melania shopping, and she's like, my dad is so good to me, and just the way they speak about us and the things that I know that they're appreciative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they lose gratitude, that's when you just make their life miserable.
Yeah, and I guess the part I'm worried about is getting them there, because I agree. I feel like our kids are relatively grateful. They ask for a lot to where you question if they even understand what money means. They ask for ridiculous stuff sometimes, and then we say yes. but
I like with mine.
so that's what worries me, that it's going on that road.
And my dad did this with me, like, hey, if you do X, I'll let you have Y. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that might be, hey, Friday night, if you rush for over 100 yards, I'll give you X. Whatever that might have been back then. I don't know what it was. That was usually a deal with
Like incentives. If you do these good things, then this is, you're incentivized.
Or if you get this many tackles, you can have this. And that's the stuff that my dad used to do. Or if you get top tester, I'll give you this.
Goals.
Yeah, it's goals. It's like when the girls
It's just like with jobs.
The girls brought 4.0 homes this semester, both of them. And I said, name it. What do you want?
Yeah.
It's
Even
just
though
like
some things were-
bonuses at jobs. When you hit a bonus, like you get rewarded for those bonuses. It's like an
But
everyday
then
life.
once you make them discipline themselves to do it, like I always had to be like, Frankie, you go lift with me, I'm going to give you this, right? You go, and then all of a sudden, now, Frankie's up. He's ready. Hey, Dad, when are we going to go lift? Dad, what do we got today? Dad, I got legs today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't have to give him shit now to go do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I did initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The best is a couple days ago, you guys are all going to the gym, and baby Tony goes, I think the Termini's got push day today, and isn't our day pull, Dad?
Yeah.
I thought that was so stinking cute.
Yeah, but I'd be like, here, I'll give you Robux every time you go to the gym.
Yeah.
Or Robux, whatever the hell they
yeah,
call
yeah.
it. And I'm spending $10 a day in Robux for this kid to go to the gym. And then all of a sudden, it took a while. You got to be patient.
But now he gets mad though if
like
you
if I don't
wake him up.
Yeah.
he's like,
He'll-
because sometimes I'll wake him up and he's stunado and he don't even know I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son, I tried to wake you up 4 times, but then he'll make me take him to the gym.
Tony gets mad at me in the gym when I'll get talking to Ross about business or something like that, and he'll tap me a few times, and then he'll get aggravated. He'll stop talking to me. We go home. He gives her the foonges. He's run job through all morning long.
Right.
What's wrong? Dad was talking at the gym. Messed up our whole workout.
But moral of the story is, like, these are teaching them disciplines. This is the life that they want, right?
Well, but
You
I
know,
think
and
also sometimes we have to be disciplined for them, because Pastor Philip says it all the time, is you have to have discipline, then you have desire, then you have delight. You can't have desire and delight until you have discipline. But sometimes we have to be disciplined for them and give them enough time to then desire and then delight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that can be a grind. That could definitely be a grind for sure.
It for sure is a grind.
But that's a good habit for, he's 12 years old and he lifts at least 4 days a week.
Yeah, that's what my whole thing to get him going in this. Obviously, I want to get some physical conditioning up for him,
and I think I told you that you seen a video I did with him where I told him he wanted to go to state,
Right.
start working out with me, get in the gym every day. I'll get you to state, and then I start thinking to myself, this kid don't make it to state, he'll never listen to me again. So I'm like, hey son, in the off chance you don't make it to state, you're gonna make it life. If you can be disciplined at 9 years old, 10 years old, getting up at 5:30 in the morning, going to the gym every day, you're gonna win at life.
Right.
I promise.
Well, and here's the other thing, like, I know how coaches think. I was a coach for 6 years, well, longer than that, but in high school for 6 years. And I can watch a kid walk into the weight room that's going to be an incoming freshman and watch him do a squat, a clean, and I'm like, some of them you're like, this kid's going to be able to be a player.
Yeah.
Just by looking at, that. So if you get him going in there and he can bench without any verbal commands, he can squat without verbal commands, he can clean, he can deadlift, he can do all those basic lifts, them coaches are going to be like, okay, this kid's got something.
I showed him a video the other day. I sent him some videos when he first started working out with me, and he had a 10-pound plate doing close grip bench, and his arms are all wobbly.
Yeah.
He has no form.
control.
He goes, man, was that when I just started? He could tell you, he could hardly hold the weight.
Yeah, I mean, and then now he's talking about his PR. I got to do my PR, Dad, my PR.
All right. Here's mine. Confessions. We're getting a little deeper. What have people always misunderstood about you? Oh, shit. Here we go. What have people always misunderstood about me? I think that this is one of the biggest revelations I've had in my own personality, and it helped me with Tony Jr. specifically. You would think, if you look at my life, knowing me how you guys know me, and all that I've been through, you would classify me as a rebellious kid, right? I was the first one, really, in my family to have tattoos. Really, one in our culture, in the Italian culture, really come around fully sleeved with tattoos. I was, the black sheep of our family. You would think rebellion would have been a good word. In fact, Dr. Wayne that I was working with, he asked me when he was co-authoring my book, he said, one of the questions he asked me is, why do you think you were so rebellious as a kid? And it hit me because rebellion to me is a disdain for authority. Like you're lashing out against intentionally because you're mad at authority, right? You know what I mean? I don't ever remember ever being upset with my parents or mad at them or anything that caused me to do anything.
You're just saying that what you were doing wasn't intentional, so you can't call it rebellious.
I don't think it. Yeah, I wasn't rebelling. I wasn't like, screw my parents, they're divorced, or my dad's not around, I'll do what I want. I never. In fact, it was conversely the opposite. I was terrified to get caught. I did not want to ever get caught for disappointment, and I didn't. If my dad had to drive from north of the river to come to Raytown in the middle of the night to beat my ass, I was getting a double dose of it.
Right? Yeah. He's gonna make it worth his while.
Yeah. Right. So I was terrified, but you know what that did for me? That made me excited. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Oh, no doubt. I swimming out into the damn ocean.
I just did it yesterday.
I
am an adrenaline
complete
junkie, and
sure.
so the sheer fear and the adrenaline rush I got from maybe getting caught by my dad was worth more than getting caught.
Right. No,
and so I misunderstood this about, and so where I was going with this, and I did a video about this a while back. Parents, if your kids are acting out, don't rush to necessarily think you're necessarily doing something wrong, like they're rebelling and they're not paying attention to you. They don't, or they're not being good kids. They might be bored.
Here,
Tony said it in class. We asked him, why do we keep getting calls from your teacher? He tells, Mom, I'm bored. I'm like, ugh. I mean, that hit me like a ton of lead bricks. I'm like, that was me.
Well, here's the other thing. A lot of times, and even Jordan Peterson says this, the educational system is just not very realistic. Right? You're going to ask young kids to sit in class for 8 hours a day And then when they can't do it, you want to diagnose them with ADD or ADHD, right? And so he makes a valid point. Now, I do think ADD is real.
It's real, sure.
I think it is real, but also Andy Elliott said it, and
It's a superpower.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be that you could be suppressing someone's superpower, whether it's their ADD, whether it's their OCD, no matter what it is, right? And you could very well be suppressing their superpower. I compensated, right? Well, I have ADD, something terrible. I don't take any medication for it, but I'm also in a situation where my attention has to shift. Well, number one, I have 3 different things
It's
that
a
I do.
superpower.
I wouldn't be able to do it without it. I mean, if I'm in a clinic, I'm never treating just one patient, okay? I'm treating 3.
Yep.
Right? And so I have to have my eyes on, 3 different people all at the same time. In the gym with the sports performance, sometimes I got a single person, sometimes I got a group of people, 3 or 4. Have to concentrate on every single one of them, constantly moving back and forth, critiquing whatever it is we're doing, right? Getting a phone call from this job, getting a phone call from that job, getting a phone call from this deal. And I'm just constantly moving back and forth until I come home and I can't even keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, but as a student, I compensated with being obsessive compulsive, right? Instead of taking medications, I was incredibly OCD about my schedule. I had to write everything down. I had to see myself cross it off, right? Whenever
you were a student?
Oh yeah,
Really?
and I would have to go into the library.
Were you a good student?
Straight A student.
Dominique, you were a good student too, right?
Straight A student.
You probably were too, huh? In college? You weren't?
I had to work very hard.
You were?
Yes.
Now,
Same thing.
when I was in
Come easy.
physical therapy
No.
school, I went into there was a library. Oh gosh, there was Conway. There was
Conway.
Massman.
Massman.
Was where the
Conway.
cafeteria was at. Conway was across.
Yes.
That was the older building.
Yes.
But then there was a building to the library. Was it the library that was
Yes.
next to? So if you went upstairs into the library, there were these rooms with no windows.
No windows.
None at all. And I would go sit in there. Anytime I had to study, I would go in there where there was no windows and I would put earplugs in
Yeah,
there.
but see, you guys made straight A's.
Because anything, it would distract me.
take a lot
squirrels.
for me.
So that's what I did. I compensated for it.
Unbelievable.
And then, I was able to get myself in a profession where being ADD was beneficial.
That's, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
It was.
What do you think? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Ross Joseph wants them to take a family picture so they can leave.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Can we beat a stopping point for just a
They
second?
want to go get ice cream.
The girls just all left.
Oh, when they come back,
Where'd
we'll
they
do it.
go?
I don't know.
Okay.
Text
Come
Gianna.
back. Tell them to come back. What do you think? What do you think I am misunderstood? What do you think that people misunderstand about me? You think there's anything? There's one thing that I thought about too, also, while you're talking. I think that people, maybe, I don't know if misunderstood is the right word, or maybe underestimate. I think that people probably underestimate, the duck, they say be a duck on the water, smooth on the top, kicking like hell underneath.
Right.
I don't think people really can rationalize or understand the depth of the stress that I deal with daily in life. They think that I'm this. Everybody's like, dude, you're a psychopath. I don't understand how you do this. The podcast, the book, the this, the work, the businesses, the jars. I don't understand how you do it. And the truth is, I don't understand how I do it. And and so I think that people think that I have have this superpower, that I have it all together, and they don't realize that the strength of whatever I have comes from my daily processes with being in the Bible, having my conversations with the doctor, doing the things that I do. People completely misunderstand successful people, I think.
How many times are these girls going to change?
Oh my gosh.
They've changed 4 times.
All right. Oh boy. All right, who's next up on the cards? Where'd this go?
Michelle.
Michelle, getting deep. Let's go there.
Hey.
Getting deep.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Read out loud.
Describe your worst heartbreak. What did it teach you?
Oh boy.
Whoa. That's not where we want to go with this.
Well, I would say losing my daughter Nina.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did it teach me?
We were talking about this, Michelle, just the other day.
We were. Gosh. What did it teach me? I think it taught me my strength, how much strength I had, that I realized I didn't know that I had, and my faith. I think that's what we hit on the other day when you and I were getting coffee. Not realizing, asking those real questions of my belief
Yeah.
on
Here, so just to bring the guests up to speed. So
okay, yeah, help me out here.
yeah. Well, so it's been 3 years now.
No,
Five.
Nina's been
It's
gone.
been 5 years.
June 23rd was 5 years.
Just
for
shows
Nina.
how like open the wound can be. I don't even feel like it was that long ago. So 5 years ago, Michelle and Frank lost one of their daughters, Nina, to opioids, and it's just been something that's rocked the family. But that's what she's speaking to. She's speaking to the courage and the strength that she's found through this and didn't know she had before. And so that's really incredible, because I can tell you right now, I would say, and I think any parent would ever say, I don't know what I'd do. I'd die if something happened to one of my kids. And clearly you didn't.
No,
You're
I
able
think
to-
that's the biggest thing. People look at me and say, "Well, I don't know how you do it," or "That is, I would die," and I wasn't given a choice.
Yeah, right.
So I think that is where I find my strength, because not only, I don't know if he really truly knows this, but I think my strength came from him, Frank Termini. Because number one, he had already lost a child, and I think he knew everything that I was going through, and he pretty much walked me through it. I mean, step by step, not realizing that he was walking me through it. Every emotion, just
Well, he just absolutely is like picking up has picked up the pieces.
yes,
Like
yes.
he's done that for you.
Yes, and I don't think he really realized it, because he never dealt with the loss of Andrew Ross, his own child. So I think losing Nina opened a lot of wounds that he had never dealt with Andrew Ross. So having to deal with me was a lot.
Do you think reliving that helped you reconcile maybe?
1000%. I think anytime something tragic happens, the devil will inject a lie into that situation. And when Andrew Ross died, the devil injected a lie that I was not liberated from until Nina died. So
Hold on, let me just the people that are watching this, you gotta understand. Frank, how old were you at
when Andrew Ross died?
Yeah.
21.
So 21 years old, he lost a 5-year-old son to cancer. And then, 20 years later, the experiences with Nina. So that's what we're talking about.
So the lie that was injected when Andrew Ross died was God took Andrew. And it was very subtle, right? It could have came from a priest. It could have been someone saying, Frank, I don't know why God took Andrew. Right? But still, in my brain, God took Andrew.
Yeah.
Right? And so what happens now? Frank's like,
Screwed
fuck
up.
do I want to worship that for? Right? I mean, so I was completely shut down from that. Now, we talked about doing the right things for the wrong reasons. I went back to church not for me. I didn't want my kids to be jaded like I was jaded. You know what I'm saying? So I was going back to church to show them what they're supposed to do, not really even like I was just going through the motions. I was going for them. So we're doing the right thing for the wrong reason. Right. And so, go to church, become real close with Pastor Philip, Pastor Jonathan, the whole entire rock community. Right. And so Nina dies. And I'm having a very frank conversation with Pastor Philip, right? I'm just like, how in the motherfuck does this happen to me twice? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm just going on and on. And on. How does God take 2 of my kids, right? And he stops me. He stops me immediately, and it took the wind out of me when he said it. Like when he took these shackles off of me, he said, God did not take Andrew, a brain tumor did. God did not take Nina, drug addiction did. God doesn't take anyone. He receives everyone. And it was like this lie. I mean, it came from out of my chest. I didn't even realize how weighed down I was by the whole entire thing. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, emotionally. It was dictating my relationship with God. It was dictating my relationship with my wife. It was dictating my relationship with everyone. And when he broke the shackle of that lie and freed me from that lie, it was like, holy shit. I can't even explain it to you. I can't even. I was on the phone with him. And he said that, and I was like, wow. I mean, it was... Words can't even describe it for me.
Question for you guys with this. I think it's important for couples to know because I've seen it happen both ways. How do you, because losing a child can wreck a marriage. I've seen it happen.
We said that.
How do you
off Jump Street? I don't even think
you have
Nina
to be intentional, right?
We said we will not allow that. That was just something that I became more protective over her.
I was going to say, he was more protective.
And I had to realize that no matter how much I was hurting, no matter how much the man in that situation hurts, we can't fathom the loss that they went through. We can't. We can't fathom the bond that they create with that baby for 9 months.
Sure.
I can't fathom, what Carrie feels, right? Which was Andrew's mom. Yeah. I can't. I also, I can't fix it, which is even more humbling, right? As an alpha, right? You want to protect when you realize as a man that you can't protect your wife and kids from shit. I mean, I mean, you just,
when you're hopeless and helpless.
There's things that could happen that you can't protect them from. And this was one of them, right? And so what I had to realize was that I can't, she's hurting way more. And so I have to tend to her. And I always felt like, hey, which is why I really didn't go to therapy that long. Number one, therapy fucks me up. It does. I mean, I would go to therapy and I'd be fucked for like 3 days, right? I mean, I would. I'd be like, I'd go home, I'd go to sleep. I want to go do this. So I was like, look, you go to therapy, put the kids in therapy. Let's get everybody else. As long as you guys are fine, I'll figure it out. I'll be fine. Right. And that's really, I still feel that way.
What about parenting other children through that?
That's probably
that has been the hardest
thing. Because they could feel like,
well, you're dealing with your loss.
Well, it's like all the attention goes to Nina. It's like, hey, I'm over here.
I don't think so.
That is the one.
Well, no. I'm saying it could be. Is what I'm saying.
Okay,
it could have, but I don't.
How do you avoid that?
So we had a family friend that had lost a sibling, and I remember having conversations with them, which you guys know. And I remember them saying that the siblings had to raise each other and that the mother very much struggled and wasn't there physically, mentally, emotionally, and that stuck with me having these conversations. And that was prior to losing Nina, having those conversations. So when I lost Nina, I had it in my head that I was not going to do that.
Yeah.
And from that day on, after losing her, I remember just, I'm going to focus on my kids. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to be that mom that shuts down. And literally, it was, I mean, I remember my therapist telling me, she's like, you had it in your head. You were going to put one foot down on the floor and the other foot every day, and you were going to focus on them. And I did. And I literally was go, go, go every day to where I literally gave myself a seizure just because I just mentally and physically had worn myself slick. That's pretty much what I've done. I still do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do it any other way.
I think that
I don't think Nina would want me to do it any other way.
we were so hyper cautious about protecting both our relationship and protecting the mental and physical well-being of the kids, you know. And I think the hardest part in the aftermath is not only are you dealing with your own grief, but you're also watching your kids struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's just like, okay, God, fuck.
Yeah.
Just take care of them. Will you just please just make it easier for them? You know what I mean?
And that literally is my daily prayer.
You know,
It's not so much me or even him, it's them.
It's
It's the
just-
four of them.
just make it easier for them. You know, it kills you that that's part of their story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just- but I mean,
But it's part of their story.
it's part of their story.
It
is
is.
what it is, right?
And here's the thing that we've had to make them realize is that it is their story, and not everyone is going to feel sorry for them or going to make that what is
I had a very honest conversation with Gianna when she was having a terrible attitude, and I said, "Let me explain something to you. No one gives a fuck that you lost your sister. No one. No one. They don't fucking care." And it was hard. She had tears in her eyes when I was saying it to her. But I was like, "Look, yeah, your coach, your volleyball coach, she's not going to play you, right? And let you have a bad attitude because your sister died." Maybe she feels bad about it, but it's not going to dictate her decision.
Yeah.
And my boss, which I didn't have a boss, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My referring doctors, they don't give a fuck, right? If I don't produce, they're not going to say, "Oh, I'm going to let him fuck my patients up," you know, because you know, poor guy lost his second kid.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No.
You got to go and you got to function and you have to produce. Period. Case closed. Frankie George has probably struggled more than anyone. You know, from the aftermath.
yes.
He'll find his way. I think, you know, him being as young as he is, he'll find his way. He'll find his
I took a line from Kevin Costner in Bull Durham.
what do you say?
Remember Bull Durham?
Yeah, it's a great movie. What do you say?
Okay.
It's
You
very
remember when he's
reliable.
talking to you remember when he's talking to Tim Robbins? What was his name in the movie? His nickname was Nuke. Anyway, he's talking to the pitcher, and he says, "You're dealing with a defining moment, and when a defining moment comes along, you can either define the moment or the moment will define you."
Oof, that's good.
And so I told Frankie, I'm like, "Look, that's you cannot let this define you, right? You can't live your life waiting for the next fucked up thing to happen."
Yeah.
It's gonna trust me.
it's going
It's
to.
gonna be there. Okay, you don't have to just sit
don't
there
have to
and
wait.
wait for
Yeah,
it.
you don't have to wait.
Okay, and I said, dude, don't let that define you. I mean, you were, oh gosh darn it, was he 7?
7 because
Yeah,
he's 12 now.
yeah. He was 7 years old. I'm like, you can't let that define you. You can't sit there and be the kid who lost his sister at 7 years old.
Yeah, right.
You
You
know,
just have to understand he's the most, out of all of our kids, he's the most like compassionate. Like he carries her prayer card in his luggage.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go without it.
he
Like,
is.
he's the one that could tell you everything about that day when I found
Yeah,
her.
well, the
He can
smells.
tell the smells.
But he's also the only one that's seen her.
See, yeah, right.
So there's a lot of things that he deals with that the other ones don't. And so he's the one that struggles and that I worry about. I don't want to say that I worry, he just, I do. I worry about him probably the most out of all four of them, just in a different way.
And I think, unfortunately, probably what's going to end up happening is it will surface with all of them eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
And you'll be able to identify it.
Right. Well, and maybe, Gianna when life slows down, or even Gemma when life slows down.
Well, that's what I was saying about Frankie, because his life will speed up at some point. He's going to
Right.
get extremely busy, and he'll get through.
Right.
He'll get through it.
I feel like Ross Joseph was in the beginning. Like he hibernated for the first couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
The girls were emotional because us women were emotional. So the first couple of years, or the first year, they were emotional. So the tears were crocodile tears, big tears.
Yeah.
Frankie George didn't know how to feel. So his stuff started coming out just
Later. Yeah.
recently, so it's later.
Here, it wasn't until we were in Denver, we were seeing his
last April.
endocrinologist for, his hormones and stuff, and they did this full workup on him and then included a psychological exam. Well, we could hear. He didn't know we could hear. Right? And that's when a lot of it was disclosed to her and I. We had no idea. No clue at all. We also didn't realize how much having them go to the funeral was actually a terrible decision.
Really?
Terrible,
Which I will never,
terrible,
I will
terrible.
never take my kids to an open casket ever,
And his brother
ever
just,
again.
His brother just passed away not a month ago.
I will
6 weeks
never
ago.
do it.
And I said no. And mine are teenagers.
Remember I told you this?
Yeah.
You and I had this discussion.
At the very end.
I won't do it. I had this discussion with Anna.
Yeah.
For her, I will never do it again, and I won't subject my. I told him when I die, I don't want my grandkids. I don't want I don't want open casket. Period. Case close. It was traumatizing.
Yeah, I thought it would bring closure, and it actually probably poured salt on the wound.
I want people to remember this. I want smiles. I want them to make the memories of
Lord
us.
knows you're always smiling.
That's right.
That's how I want. That's my memories to be.
So it was an error. I mean,
That's
So it's the best decision that you felt at the time, and then you deal with it,
Yeah.
You just don't know.
I think even if we would have had him go after they closed the casket, it might have been better,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But to have
At the
him
mass.
see her,
No, it was
it's a bad
it was a
move.
horrible decision.
Yeah. And Frankie, who was a kid that didn't get nervous over anything. Nothing made that kid nervous. Sarah was just cool as a cucumber. All of a sudden became completely anxiety ridden. Completely anxiety. It's been sickening to watch. How anxiety ridden that kid's become. So, but he's gonna have to get over that shit. I mean, or he's just gonna live a miserable life.
he'll figure it out.
Yeah, time and tools and,
Yeah.
all the things.
He'll figure it out.
He's got to take some fuckatol.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got one of the guys that I work with has a whole jar, and it just has these little wooden FUCKs. The whole jar full of FUCKs.
right. Fuck it all.
Yeah.
Who cares?
All right. Who's up? Dominique, you up? We can do a couple more, and we'll wrap it up. Let's go all the way to challenge. Yeah, girl.
I'll read it.
Ooh. Play the song that has had the biggest impact on you and explain its significance. Our wedding song.
No. It was.
Is it Casting Crowns?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be held.
Just be held. I mean, I'm not gonna sing it, but it's. No, I'm absolutely not.
Hold it all together. Everybody needs you strong.
Yeah.
When life hits you out of nowhere and barely leaves you holding on.
Yeah, I think to me, when I was going through your drug addiction, it was kind of like the last straw that I had, and had kicked you out of the house, and it was just like my anthem song at the time, and that's probably one of the songs.
Probably mine too, because that was the song you were trying to get you.
You wouldn't listen to it. I kept on asking you, will you just please, like, I was just hoping, like, if he could just listen to this song,
you know what I mean?
maybe it'll, like, soften his heart. Maybe he'll, like,
I
I'll try
remember
to.
you calling.
Yeah.
I remember the phone calls
She
from
under-
you.
I think she, thinking back and knowing the lyrics to the song, I think she wanted me to hear it to understand what she was going through.
Or just to hear it and maybe change, you know? You guys got the phone call.
I
mean,
remember
don't
the
know,
phone. Well, I just remember the phone calls that you were making to Frank, just for you. Please talk to him. Please. I just remember all the phone calls and just the sadness in your voice.
Yeah, so
Well,
that
I just
song-
remember when he finally got called, he was like one of the I think like last, you know, I mean, I didn't really call anybody.
I remember
first
going
off.
and looking for you at some warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But
my wife's
I-
like, Frank, he may have been up for 3 days in paranoid. I go, he's definitely been up for 3 days.
Definitely been a paranoid. And I was definitely paranoid, and I definitely had a gun. 2 of them.
Well, I think the last time I saw you were on a golf cart playing loud music. Why people were golfing pissed off with the drone.
And I had my drone
with the
flying
drone
over the
flying
fairway.
over.
Oh my gosh. Well, that song was significant for me too, because the very first time that I had heard that song, you were playing it on the camera that moment when I heard her and Aniela talking on the camera. Heard the sound coming from my bedroom. That was that time when I heard her and Aniela talking, and she was playing that song.
It's amazing how music, like for me, the Holy Spirit has communicated with me directly through music.
Oh, it has me a lot. A lot.
Directly through. I remember the day after Nina died. I was in a habit where I would get up, and while I was making my breakfast, I would turn on Alexa, and I would turn on the worship music, and I would eat my breakfast, and then I always got these Bible verses, okay, and I got 2 good stories here. So I always got these Bible verses, and I would read my Bible verses every morning after I got done eating breakfast, and I'd have the worship music on. Well, that morning, I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to hear a fucking thing you have to say today. Mm-hmm. I love you. I'm not turning my back on you, but I don't want to hear it today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And somehow the Holy Spirit, it was so incredibly gentle, it wasn't angry, wasn't anything despite what I was saying. He just kept saying, just do it. Just do it. And I couldn't even hardly get the words out of my mouth. That's how bad I did not want to hear any type of worship music. None. I barely could even get the words out of my mouth. And that song that came on was a song called Highlands. And the chorus said, if you praise him on the mountain, you have to praise him in the valley, and you have to praise him when the mountain's in your way. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, I needed to hear that right then and there, and to the point when the chorus started, I just cried.
Yeah.
I knew it was. There's no. That's not a coincidence.
No.
I mean, I 100% needed to hear that song at that time. It's like you don't get to just pick and choose when you're going to do this, right? Yeah. You need to do it now more than anything. You know, and so that song for me is 100% on my playlist, reminding me
of that moment.
100%. I'll never forget it. Yeah. I'll never, ever forget it. It was crazy. And another funny story. So I won't say any names, but I had someone come up to me in my house. You know, because we knew she got this dope from, it was a bad deal, this, that, the other. And someone that came up to me and said, do you want to kill him? He was dead serious. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, I do. I do. And this guy walked over to my wife, and he kissed my wife and walked out of the house. He might have been there 5 minutes. He might have been there 5 minutes. Well, the very next day, I go back to my Bible verses that I did every single day. Okay, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. It was Romans. It was Romans. And I said, son of a bitch. No, don't do this to me. Give me a pass on this one. You know what I mean? I was like, because it was a real surreal conversation, right? You know, it wasn't like, you know, when this guy came up to me and said this to me, he wasn't like smiling, and it was almost kind of, I was scared a little bit, right? Right? Because, you know, and I paused for a second, and he just kind of stared at me, and I said, yeah, I do. And his response to that wasn't like, okay. He just turned, didn't even say anything, turned, walked, kissed her, walked out of my house. And so then I called him and I said, you know, hey, let's let the Department of Homeland Security, because I called my buddy Carlos Dallas, and I said, Carlos, call off the dogs, right? Because Carlos was, he knew the whoever's in charge of all that shit at the Department of Homeland Security, and it was a Homeland Security case because Nina only had fentanyl in her system, right? And so I told Carlos, I called him and I go, can you call off the dogs, right? You know, because I know in my head, you know, where I want this to go. And he goes, stop. He goes, hold on. He knew where my head was at. He goes, just give me some time. He goes, please give me some time, right? Well, in the meantime, I had gotten that Bible verse, right? So that was really two things. Yeah. Right. Well, then I talked to this gentleman and I said, hey, you know, let's just let the Department of Homeland Security kind of do their thing. And he kind of said, what's going on? Why? I go, well, I got this Bible verse today. I'm telling him the Bible verse, and he's looking at me and, you know, yeah, I didn't get that fucking verse. He told me, he said, I didn't get that fucking verse. And here, he would call me intermittently. He would call me and he'd go, you know, and it might have been 3 months down the road, 4 months down the road, 6 months down the road. He was looking for this fucking guy. He was looking, I think I see this guy, Frank. You know, and I'm like, no, just stop, leave it alone. And then 2-3 months later, out of nowhere, you know, he might have had nothing going on, and he would just start driving because he knew the areas where this guy ran. So no, so that's kind of how that went.
Good story.
That is good.
We probably should wrap it up.
All right, let's do one more challenge, and then we're done. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Michelle, you tell us your song, your favorite song. Okay. What's the most meaningful song to you?
Terrible at this. I'm terrible at songs, Tone.
She likes to back that ass up.
I'm not good at songs, Tone.
Let's do. All right.
You didn't do a gray card. What's the gray one?
Those are just easy.
Okay, do that.
Right.
Let her have one.
Oh God, no. What is something you really love about yourself?
What do I really love about myself? I would say that I'm kind.
You're what kind?
Kind.
I'd say
I think
you're
that
very
I'm kind.
I think you're very.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Joyful. Like
I think I try to be kind to everyone.
Yeah, I like you're just seem always really happy.
You are always happy. You are. I was
I
thinking
try to
about
be.
that the other day. I don't know that I've ever seen you in a bad mood.
No,
I
not
don't.
very often.
You're not. I ever really think I've seen you I think you get irritated enough for everyone.
Me and him.
Yeah.
Me and him.
I
Bertha.
really am. I am that person that always tries to look at my glass always full.
You're what?
Always full. My glass
Yeah.
is always full.
Yeah.
Like I always try to look the good in everything and everyone, and like if I honestly, and I'm gonna put her on this. If I feel something negative, do you know who I call?
Who?
Her. Like if I'm feeling a certain way about something,
Wait, why though?
because you're always so positive and so smiley and happy
You
that
are.
I feel like if I'm off a little bit, that she's going to put me in the right spot about something. Like if I'm feeling a certain way about someone or something, that something's off to me, I call her.
Yeah.
Because I know she's always kind. Like
Pooh Forest.
yeah, because I always feel like anyone that says something about Dominique, I'm like, she doesn't have a mean bone in her body. Like
Ask her son.
Oh, I've seen her get mad.
yeah, but
Her whole face changes.
she's like,
And then she
I would
proceeds to
say-
change the person's face.
Hold on.
That
She
she's
is one of
mad
the
at.
kindest person that I've ever met. So I feel like if there's something that is not registering with me, she's going to talk me off the ledge. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like that I have a kindness about me, and then I do try to find the good in everything. But if there's something that's not registering, I'm calling her to make
You're
it make
always
sense
so
to me that maybe I'm not seeing the good in something that I'm missing.
You need to call. You always got to make sure you're going to call someone who may tell you what you don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's gonna
Correct.
tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
The
You-
truth.
they may- like you can't call someone who's just automatically going to take your side.
Correct. No, I don't disagree.
you can't.
But I also have learned as I've gotten older that my circle has gotten smaller too.
Oh yeah.
That's just normal, right? You typically end up. Oh, excuse
But I feel like the people that are in my circle are the ones that are going to tell me the truth, or that if I need to know something that they're not just going to be telling me what I want to
They're
hear.
not going to blow smoke.
Correct. That they're going to be honest with me and say either, no, Michelle, you're not right, or yes, you're right, you're seeing it the right way.
Yeah.
But I feel like my circle is very small and
Yeah, I get that.
the good ones.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really ever call anyone because once I make my mind up, it doesn't matter if it's a bad
He thinks
decision
he's
or
right
not.
no matter what.
No, sometimes I know I'm wrong. It's not true. I can know I'm wrong.
Listen, you
But
got
I'm
3
doing it
Scorpios
anyway.
here.
I can know I'm wrong, and I'm doing it anyway.
That's
I'm doing it.
And I'm but because I'm willing to make it right. If it, I'm willing to do what it takes. If it goes wrong, I'm willing to
do
do what
have
it
3
takes to make it
Scorpios.
right.
3 Scorpios.
See, that I'm a Sag. You 3 are Scorpios. I'm done.
It's always a party over here.
Scorpios are married to each other. Without, that's a trick in itself.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you can't hear helps you.
It's very
Good
much so.
defense mechanism. That's why I refuse to get hearing aids.
Yeah, very much
refuse to
so.
do it.
Sometimes. He's more, just depends, but he's more of the chill. Like, he's
Oh, yeah.
way more chill than I am.
Way more.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Like, half the time,
Like
I see
earlier.
it. Now that
The
we're all,
situation
now
earlier.
that
But you also didn't hear what the fuck was going on.
here's the other thing.
But he's got both sides.
But majority of the time, now that we're all hang out more, you and I are more alike. I'm sitting there like a hawk, and now I look to my
two
right,
of you.
and you're bay watching too, looking like a lifeguard, and I'm like, here we are again. It's
Meanwhile,
always,
I'm over. Meanwhile,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
over
no.
on the rail with
He's
my
snorkeling.
Layla.
Snorkel in his mouth like a big
he's
ninja.
snorkeling. and-
She's sitting there on the hill. Doesn't know where any of my kids are at.
Hey, I will tell you
Got
this.
sunglasses on.
I will tell you this.
I don't know where any of my kids are.
Hey,
All over the ocean.
I will tell you this. At any point in time, I was ready to dive 12 feet to go get any of our kids.
I knew exactly where they were. I was right in the middle of all of
Yeah.
them. Just like I was in the middle of all of them at the phone party, having a great time with them.
I'm sitting there with binoculars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I remember the
Smack
first
right in the
cruise.
middle of
Hey, the
them.
first cruise we went on, me and Frank got it in our heads 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, because we were counting kids the whole time, but they were little.
Real
We were on
little.
the cruise. 2, 4, 6, 2. Oh, that
That's
was
why
good.
when they all turn 21, they want to go to Vegas with me.
Yeah, they want to go. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Oh my gosh.
This was good.
This was really good. Well, friends, thank you guys a ton. We appreciate your friendship. You and I have talked about this in great length, and just about how friends the quality of friends are, and I don't know if I shared with you guys a story about Tony wanting to know who one of my best friends were, and talking about you and Ross. No, they're family. Who's your friend? And he just suddenly realizing that my son doesn't know how to associate the difference between a friend and a family member, because he thinks that you guys are family because of how close we are. And he doesn't understand that we're just friends.
Right.
But that's what a friend is. A friend looks like a brother, looks like a sister, in fact, in some cases,
Right.
better than, right?
No, I get it. For sure.
And I don't do the blood's thicker than water. I go with people that are right and they're equally yoked in our spiritual lives, the way we parent, the way we handle life in general. So I appreciate you guys on a deep level. I really do.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
That feeling's mutual for
Yeah.
sure.
Very much so.
Well, that's another episode of Dome and Tony Coffee Talks, late
With
night.
no coffee.
With
That
no
she
coffee.
loves.
Plus Michelle and Frank.
What? I'm pretty sure that we have only had coffee once in 6 episodes of Coffee Talks.
Yeah, you.